around, take a minute for yourself here. Take a minute for yourself. All right. Nothing fun about this, right? You know, it's when you coach long enough, you play this game long enough, you get these feelings in the locker room, and it should hurt, right? We're hurt, we're pissed off, we feel like crap. Those are all natural emotions, and it's going to be that way for 24 hours, 48 hours. But what we've been about all year is how do we respond to this, right? We can't be angry. We can't be sad, all right? Yeah, it's tough. We don't get to go out to practice tomorrow. We played somewhat hard. I think that's the toughest thing, right? We didn't play our best game. Usually in the playoffs, the team that doesn't play their best game, they don't stick around, okay? But what you have to do, and you guys have responded all year long, is you got to take a deep breath, take a timeout, relax, and think about what you did accomplish this year, right? You were picked 4th in the league or whatever it was, and you got to share the championship the regular season. We always said we want to play lacrosse in May. You met that goal, right? But the great thing about meeting that goal is we get to now change that goal. Because now the standard of Ohio Northern University men's lacrosse program is playing lacrosse in May.
How's the last week been? I mean, has it kind of set in yet? Or?
It's starting to sit in. I think, the loss in the playoff game kind of hit everybody hard. We were all a little, we'd never been there before. And in order to know how to handle something, you have to be there. And I think it took a day or two, and now it's been great. Guys have been coming in and, saying how excited they are for next year, hitting the weight room already, getting shots in already. So I think it's business as usual, but the first couple of days, there's no doubt with the season that we put together. I don't think anybody in the country thought that we were going to do that, and some people here even. So it hit pretty hard when it ended. Yeah, it's just really frustrating because I'm not so sure that the better team had won that day. They certainly deserved the win, and we tip our caps to them. Their seniors knew what they had to do to get it done for their team, and I think that was probably one of the very few points in our short program's history where not having a senior kind of showed. But I think our guys played hard. That's one thing this group does. They play hard no matter what. But I think the moment was big for us, and we'd made some uncharacteristic mistakes, and just didn't do enough to get it done when it mattered. And very frustrating as a coach, just because I love my team. Like, I love this group, and they're capable and deserving of everything that they got. And I just didn't want it to end that way.
Joe, I can't put you in the game and have turnovers.
I mean, it was definitely sad, obviously, just because it was sad, but it could have been much worse considering the fact that we don't have any seniors on the team and that was no one's last game. So in a way, it was kind of like, it was a sad feeling, very disappointed, but in a way, it's kind of, everyone was ready to get going again. Everyone was kind of like already thinking about next year. Everyone was kind of hyping themselves up, saying like, next year, like, we got that team. Like, obviously we beat them the first time the way that we did, and it's just a very disappointing feeling afterwards in the locker room. But everyone kind of was able to get their mind around it within the next few days, saying that next year it's going to be a lot different, especially for the junior class, being the team that started this, and then being the seniors next year, so we only have one more go around at it.
Overall, do you think that, in reflecting in the short time you've had, that you guys met expectations this year? Because obviously it was a season of a lot of firsts for you guys. At the same time, your season ended shorter than you thought it would.
Yeah, I actually think we dominated. I think we blew all of the expectations out of the water. We're about a year and a half ahead of schedule. We, as a program, and myself as the head coach, we just set very lofty goals. And I think with the young men we have on our team, we can do that. So even though we step back and we look and we lose a game that we don't feel like we wanted to lose, or some people think we shouldn't have lost, but again, you got to tip your cap to them for coming over here and beating us. the end of the day, we were picked 4th in the league, and we shared the regular season championship, and we're the 2 seed in the OAC tournament. So I think when it comes to expectations, we exceeded them, but we've also put ourselves in a very tough situation to have some very lofty goals again moving forward.
Attaboy, let's go now, let's go. Build off that.
Coach's thing was always that only people in our program and only people on our team know how good we are and know what we can accomplish, because everyone on the outside of our program that doesn't know what we go through every day, that doesn't know not what Coach Say puts us through, but how he gets us ready and prepared to play every game. So people outside the program don't see how ready and how prepared we really are. Obviously, you dropped the ball a little bit on the last game, but we're going to come back ready, focused, ready to go.
Good.
Did you guys surprise yourself at all this year? Or, I mean, because there's a lot, you guys accomplished a lot.
We did. I mean, I think the good way to put it is we surprised a lot of people outside the program. Inside the program, I think that we figured out that this is how good we can be and this is how good this team can be. And everyone outside the program can be surprised all they want, but we knew what we could accomplish.
How big of a step was it this year for you guys to take as a program as to where you want to be, and then how does that translate into your goals heading into next season?
Sure, I think that's a great question because it was a huge step. And our goals were, play lacrosse in May, 3.2 GPA, 100% graduation rate. And, I was thinking those goals would be a year 4 thing. And this group, proved me wrong again, and I love it. I tell them all the time, prove me wrong when I challenge them. And they did it. And I think what they've done now is really laid a foundation for the future for anybody that steps foot in this Ohio Northern University men's lacrosse program. There's now a standard and an expectation that's been set that's not your normal first 4 or 5 year lacrosse program expectation. And I think that's something we take a lot of pride in.
Yeah, how crazy is it to think about that, I guess, because you guys started this and you've gotten so far, but now you only have 1 year left.
It's weird. It blows my mind. It really does. Just because we started with, 40 freshmen, and then now I think we're down to 20-some going into senior year. Hopefully it stays that way. No one leaves or no one quits, but it's kind of wild to think that 40 freshmen turned into 20-some seniors. I mean, obviously we knew that people were going to drop off. We knew people probably would figure out that this wasn't their thing, but from where we came freshman year, going just over 500, playing a lighter schedule, not like an easy schedule, I guess, but obviously like a lighter schedule going into this year, beating teams like in the Empire 8, beating Alfred, beating BW the way we did the first time, and there's it's night and day, really, and obviously there's tons more to come.
Why do you think this group has been able to grow so quickly? Because I think a lot of people, like you said, are surprised by at this stage you're here at year 3.
Yeah, it's just a testament to young men. These guys, they work extremely hard. I think the background at the schools that I've coached at, the levels that I've coached at, when I took this job, I never left those expectations at those schools. So, the juniors are one of the most special groups that, it'll be a very difficult time for me next year when the seniors graduate. Because they came in as freshmen, and I did not change my approach to them as I did at the previous universities that I've coached at the Division I level or top 10 Division III level. This is how we're going to do it, and it's been tough. I think next year when I sit back and reflect over the 4 years of this program, we're going to be a lot of smiles and maybe some tears, but a ton of pride. And that's what I'm excited about. So that group is very special, but the other 2 classes that have come in and stepped up. You look at the rising junior class, there are some big-time players in that class. And they've had a huge role in our success. And, the other thing that's been neat is the support that we get. You've been around the program, but the parents coming in from all over the country and watching us and supporting us, it's something really special we've got going here, and I think it's just a tribute to the young men. There's some expectations and standards that we put on them from day one, and they don't know anything else. That's all they want to do is meet those and exceed those, and this Team 3, really was able to do that. Yeah, we have to go out and recruit some better players. We have to take what's on our roster right now and get them to the next level. There's guys on our team right now that haven't even come close to their ceiling. And we started seeing some flashes of that at practice with some young guys, and we have some older guys that are changing their best, and that's what we ask every day. Don't be average, make sure you change your best. And, talking with some of the guys, they're actually self-reflecting, and I need to do this, this, and this. And as a coach, it's great to not sit in a meeting and tell a kid, you got to do this, this, and this. They're telling me what they need to do, and that's very refreshing. And the one thing that this team has is they're pretty motivated right now. They got a taste of playoff lacrosse. They got a taste of success, and not once you get a taste of it, you're going to want that feeling all the time, and I think that's great. And we got to make sure that we're putting the work in. We talk a lot in our program about the process, and well done is greater than well said, and we got to make sure that we're actually doing it instead of talking about it.
One of the reasons we're not really matchup oriented. We're not really matchup oriented for that reason.
Virginia!
How quickly have you guys kind of gotten back to work?
I know a ton of people went and shot the next morning, like 9 a.m. Everyone's in the weight room immediately. I know everyone's Snapchatting, putting it on social media, all that stuff about how the off season started almost directly after the loss. So I mean, it probably took everyone like maybe 5 hours, but for the most part, everyone got right back into the off season. Off season started right away. I know, especially me and Cam and Jalen and some people that live in the Cleveland area already have plans to rent out a force or rent out an indoor place during the summer at least 2 or 3 times a week, just to make sure that we're ready for the next year, because the one more shot is coming up.
What are some early goals for next season? Do you have anything locked down?
I think our goals are, we're going to continue to try to take our current goals and make those standards, but, we want a league championship. We want to play in the NCAA tournament. We want to represent Ohio Northern University on a national stage, and we're trying to put the schedule together so we can get some more out-of-conference games that will help bolster us at the national level. And, I thoroughly expect that Team 4 is not able to do this interview next year at this time. I expect us to be playing in the NCAA tournament, and that's the standard, and it's lofty because it's not going to be easy. People know who we are now. We're going to get their best game, but we wouldn't want it any other way. You guys are 14-3, and you're still champions. There's a lot to be proud of, okay? And I said a long time ago, and I mean it, there's no place I would rather be. And I'm telling you, I cannot wait for fall ball to get around. But before that, we got a lot of work to do. We're still trying to get that 3.2 GPA. Boys, you guys are on the cusp of it. All right? We got to finish this thing strong. So next year, when the next group gets in here, we got to understand that, hey, the standard's set. We expect to play lacrosse in May. And if they're not doing it the right way, we have to show them. We can't get anything back from this game. And it stinks. It hurts. It gets you right to the core. But that's a good thing. But when you take your pause and you step back from this, reflect on what you accomplished. Reflect on what you accomplished. All right? And we learned a valuable lesson. Next year, that's going to be us. There's seniors on that team that were fighting and clawing because they didn't want their careers to come to an end. We get everybody back. You understand that? A team that finished 14-3, we get everybody back. And now we know there's nobody more seasoned than you guys. Our one-goal games, our playoff experiences, everything that you guys did. I can't tell you how I've been proud of a lot of teams, and I've sat in championship locker rooms before. But believe me, I'm looking you all in the eye right now and telling you I've never been more proud of a group than this group. Why? Because you did everything we asked you to do. Head up, chest out. We responded. We learned from everything that we did. All right? Now, I'll still get to see you guys next week. We're still going to have our meetings. We're going to set up our plans, what we got to do to get better. All right? But the thing I got to ask you is have some discipline. The same discipline that got you to be regular season champs. Make sure you're doing that off the field. Make sure you're calling home. Remember all those people we talked about? The Dale Englands of the world. Okay? I'm going to call them. Hey, it didn't happen for us today. But what do you think he's going to say? The same damn thing he told me on the phone today. How he loves his team, he loves to be a part of it, and he loves this university. And I'm telling you, once you guys get that seed planted, it's going to grow and grow and grow. You did a great job. I'm proud of you. We're going to get one more breakout. We're going to take the tops off. We're going to get our jerseys in. But don't you dare put your head down. You get your head up. You get your chest out. You're still champs at the end of the day. You still get to get up tomorrow morning and enjoy life. But make sure we take a second tonight and call all those people that told you along the way that you can do it. Because I'm promising you right now, they're going to make you feel great because they're proud of you. Just like me. You guys got it?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. Let's get a breakout. Here we go. This stuff's never easy, boys. It's never easy. Love you guys tonight. I really do. Bears on you. On you! Bears! Go.